It's an interesting time for you. You've had so much success for so many decades, and yet this seems to be a period of time when you're receiving so much more recognition with exhibits at Art Basel in Switzerland, with this work here at the Center and at Dia Beacon in New York. How does it feel to get this recognition at this time in your life?
It's the beginning.
Ah.
So it feels right. It's constant.
I think that's the sign and the idea of a youthful artist,
yes,
who's
yeah.
always working towards something more. It's very important for us to have you here in the Reach. You came to Washington, D.C. in the 60s, so you overlapped with when John F. Kennedy was in the presidency?
Yes, 3 years. I actually came around the time of the March on Washington for King's speech at the Lincoln Memorial. I came with my new bride, who suggested after a few days that I should go into law.
Not be an artist.
Well, she knew that. We were lucky is that we moved into Adams Morgan, Columbia Road, which was actually the center, music center. I never left. I came to a good place.
This building, the Reach, was built intentionally to complement the spaces that we have at the Kennedy Center. And it is much more open, it looks right out at the river, it has much more light. But intelligently, without planning, we created these magnificent spaces that are begging for art. And I'm just couldn't be more thrilled that we have this work of yours gracing this wall here in the Peace Corps Gallery. It is a place that is filled with people, except right now,
Yes.
On a daily basis through the evening and the weekends. And you have no idea how many people are taking pictures of themselves or of your artwork. So I can't ever thank you enough, actually, for sharing it with us here.
It's nice, I think, to have known this river since the 60s, and now it's 2020.
Yeah.
I saw this building built. It has a nice theme. It means coming to this place and discovering it.
Why is it draped exactly the way it is? I think it's perfect. It's like, as you say, the performing arts. It's got a gracefulness, it's lyrical, it's performing. But how did this idea of a beautiful painted canvas come
It's
to
called a carousel.
Yes.
Carousels are just what they are. They're actually round structures for younger kids. They're calliopes and music and horses and motion up and down and things like this. For me, it reminds me of living near the fairgrounds and preferring the circus and what was inside that area to being in school. My 6th grade classroom was less than a mile from the circus ground.
Oh, I see.
And that's where we spent most time after school. When you were supposed to be home by 5, you went that way and you arrived right in your seat at the table. And Dad would say, "Where have you been?" "Oh, I've been down." "Oh, I've been out. I've been around." And how nice it would be to run away and to join the circus.
We all wanted to be able to do
yeah.
that. have a very impressive education as an artist. Do you think that your education is around how to express yourself? Is it vital for your success to have had that kind of education, or is it this larger life education, life experiences that brings the greater depth and meaning to your art?
It was good to have a complete education in order to have an index and actually to feel at home wherever you were. After the 6th grade, there wasn't an art program that I could go to. And in fact, there was an art program only in certain places after school and then into high school.
You went to college and then you later got your master's and you had really fantastic training. If you weren't having art in your school day, how did you then move on to?
I had been in the military, I'd been in Japan, I'd been trained as a pilot, I had other plans, but then I had to become an artist because I was drafted. In leaving the military service, when I applied for a job, is that I was asked to teach the 6th grade in my own 6th grade school, in my own neighborhood, replacing my own 6th grade teacher. I think it was exactly the same as it was when I had gone to school in the 40s. I knew where the paper, the crayons, the batteries and things like this.
When I was in the 6th grade and the 7th grade, those were the most important grades for me to decide I loved being in music.
My music teacher wanted me to sing. I made certain that was the one thing I wasn't going to do. The major thing is that was with Mrs. Brown is that if you finished your lessons, you could always draw. And I drew.
You grew up in the South, you longed to be in New York, and you ended up in Washington. You traveled the world, and I will never be able to look at this gorgeous work without thinking of you going to the circus after school and knowing that that was the genesis of the Carousel.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
sit there.
Mr. Gilliam, so nice to meet you. I just wanted to make a very special introduction to you. It's really an honor and a pleasure to have Mr. Sam Gilliam here with us, whose art is hanging throughout the Reach in the Kennedy Center, and he happens to also be here in Maori Custer's uncle. Welcome.